dear students, good afternoon. I welcome you all for biology video class. In previous video, we have talked about the parathyroid gland and the thymus, and last one is adrenal gland. So about 3 glands we have seen in the last video. So now we are going to see part 5, the chapter 22. Here before we have seen what? The parathyroid and thymus and adrenal gland. Once again I want to recall that a parathyroid gland, it is located where? In the dorsal side of the thyroid gland. Okay, then 4 glands are there, parathyroid gland, 4 glands are there which secrete hormones, parathyroid hormone, PTH, that is maintain the calcium level in our blood. The next one, thymus, it is present behind of the sternum and ventral of the aorta. It is present in the chest region, in between the 2 lungs it is situated. It is secrete thymosin hormone which is responsible for the immunity. Then adrenal gland, it is the largest endocrine gland. The endocrine gland which possesses 2 main parts. One is adrenal cortex and medulla. Cortex is outer part, medulla is inner part. Adrenal cortex which secrete corticoids. Here adrenal medulla which secrete adrenaline, noradrenaline. That means epinephrine, norepinephrine. Okay, it is other name of adrenaline, noradrenaline. Okay, so the adrenaline, noradrenaline is responsible for the emergency situation which manage our, which regulate our body. So it is emergency hormone or flight or fight hormone, flight and fight hormone, like that it is named. The next, what are the functions of the hormones? Which means which increase the heartbeat, which increase the respiration, then which increase the metabolism, then heart contraction and relaxation. So that is the responsible of the emergency hormone. The next one, corticoids. We have glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids. Glucocorticoids which regulate the glucose, mineralocorticoids which regulate the minerals. So these all the things we have seen in the previous video. Now we are going to see one main endocrine system. Actually it is not only endocrine system, it is exocrine also. Exocrine which means, already I said that exocrine, endocrine, exocrine which means duct gland. What? Duct gland. Endocrine, ductless gland. Ductless gland. This is secrete enzyme. The ductless gland secrete hormones. So exocrine, endocrine already we have discussed. So now we are going to see what? Pancreas, and next one testis. Here the pancreas is very unique because it acts as an exocrine and endocrine which secrete enzyme as well as hormones. So enzyme functions you know, which is involved in the digestion. which secrete the hormones which is responsible for the coordination of the body. So which act as a both. So that gland today we are going to see, and next one testis also we are going to see. So pancreas, it is act as here exocrine as well as endocrine. Okay, duct gland and ductless gland. The next, which consists, which one? The endocrine consists what? Consists islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans. It is the part of endocrine. So endocrine is what? Islets of Langerhans. So the islets of Langerhans, how many cells are present? 1 to 2 million. 1 to 2 million of cells are present. So what are all the cells? Which means two types of cells the islets of Langerhans possess. Islets of Langerhans, which composed of two types of cells. One is alpha cells and another one beta cells. Alpha cells and beta cells. So the islets of Langerhans, which possess how many cells? 1 to 2 million. What are the cells? Alpha cells and beta cells. Before that, I want to say, before entering into the alpha cells and beta cells, I want to say something. Pancreas, where it is situated? It is just below of the stomach. You know, I think in digestive system, we know that stomach is present, then small intestine which is coming here, this leaf-like structure is present. So this is what pancreas. So just below of the stomach it is present. Which one? Pancreas. So alpha cells and beta cells. Here the alpha cells which secrete glucagon. What? Glucagon. Yes, right. Glucagon. Here beta cells will secrete insulin. Okay, this is one type of hormone, this is one type of hormone. Both are them peptide hormones. Peptide hormones, already said that peptide hormone is protein hormone. So glucagon also peptide, insulin also peptide hormone. The next one, the glucagon. It is function is what? Insulin function is what? So now we know the pancreas location and what it is composed of, like that we know. Then what it is secretes? It is composed of alpha cells and beta cells. Then what it is secrete? Alpha cell secretes glucagon and beta cell will secrete insulin. Here, you know, I think daily we are eating. In 3 times we are eating. So that food consists nutrients. What type of nutrients? That means you know that carbohydrate, fat, protein, vitamins and minerals. Mainly carbohydrate food we are taking. That carbohydrate which will be digested in the stomach The carbohydrate in product, you know, glucose. That glucose taken by the blood, you know. Basically, one example, if one person will earn money every month, he will earn money. Apart from his spending money, he have extra money. After spending, he have extra money. What shall he do? Actually, he will save that money, okay, in bank or to someone or whatever it may be. But he will be saving his money. So like that, in our body, if we have extra glucose, which is stored in one area. Okay, then come to that man. If in 1 month he cannot earn money, so what happen? He will ask to that particular person, whether it is bank or private, whatever it may be, private or government, whatever it may be. He will ask that previous saving money. I need that money. Then he will get that money. Then he will going to spend it. Okay, like that, we are saving our glucose. We are stored our glucose. Whenever our body cannot get glucose, sometimes we don't eat. So during that time, we are doing some work. For that work, we need energy. That energy will be given by that stored glucose. Okay, so the stored glucose form is known as glycogen. It is what? Glycogen. Okay, it is stored form of what? Glucose. Okay, so now you understood what? The glucose level is increased. If extra glucose is present in our blood, what it is happen? It is stored in one place. Whenever we don't eat, we need glucose. So that stored glucose we will take and utilize. So that stored glucose is what? Glycogen. Now you know that basic concept. Okay. Right. First, glucose. If it is increased, it is stored. It is stored. Okay. If glucose level is decreased, the stored glucose. So that stored glucose name is what? Glycogen. That glycogen, which is taken from that particular area, and next we can utilize it. Okay, so stored glucose will be utilized, okay, when we don't have glucose. So that concept you should keep it in your mind. Here you go. Glucagon. It is one of the hormone. That hormone, what it is happen, which is act on hepatocytes. So hepatocytes, that means what? Cells. That hepatocyte cells where it is present in the liver. So what happened? The glucagon which act on the hepatocytes. When the glucose level is decreased in blood. If glucose level decreased in blood, which means the alpha cells will secrete what? Glucagon. They will ask in 1 mark, alpha cells will secrete what type of hormone in the pancreas. So we can see. So it acts on the hepatocytes. So in liver, what I told, in one area glucose will be stored. What area now? Liver. As a what? glycogen. As a glycogen, it is stored already. Okay. Now, what it has happened? Which act on the hepatocytes? No. Now, glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis. That means breaking down of glycogen. Lysis, which means breaking down. Which means what? Breaking down. So, glycogenolysis, that means glycogen will be breakdown because it is stored form. Okay, genolysis. The next one, what happened? Now glycogen is breakdown as glucose. Then the blood level increased. The sugar level will be increased in the blood. So glucose level increased. So it is called as hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia. So in blood the glucose level is increased. That means it is hyperglycemia. Okay. When it has happened? When the glucose level is decreased, the glucagon which is act on hepatocytes, which means in liver it is present, then the processes happen. The process name is what? Glycogenolysis. That glycogenolysis process breaking the glycogen. It is converted as a glucose. Then automatically what it has happened? The blood glucose level is increased. Okay. Then another one it has happened. The intake and utilization of cells also reduced. So glucagon, what it is doing? It is doing this process as well as intake of utilization of cells will be reduced. So our cells will be taking continuously what? Glucose. That glucose intake also will be what? Inhibit. That means reduced. Okay. So now what happened? If cells is not taking the glucose, automatically the glucose level is increased in the blood. So now the situation is what? The glucose level is increased because of glucagon. Glucagon doing this process and produce glucose. And next one, it is doing that reduce the intake of utilization of cells. Okay, so it is called as hyperglycemic hormone. It is called as what? Hyperglycemic hormone. Which one? Glucagon. Hyperglycemic hormone. Hyper, not high. Hyper mean what? High. Glycemic, that mean glucose. Okay. So this is about glucagon. Okay. Now we are going to see what about insulin. Insulin, what it is doing? Insulin, what it is doing? Now, if glucose level is high in the blood, okay, we have more glucose, extra glucose. So what I said before, we need to store in one place. Which place? In liver. Before that, what we said? From the stored place, we can take the glucose and increase the blood glucose level. Now we have more glucose in the blood. Where we can store? How it is stored? So where it is stored? In the hepatocytes and adipocytes. Okay, so the insulin act on hepatocytes and adipocytes. Hepatocytes, already we said that it is present in the liver. Adipocytes, which is present in the adipose tissue. The adipose tissue where it is present below of the skin. Okay, mainly it is present in the stomach region. So belly, you know, I think belly. That belly fully consists of what? Adipose tissue. So in the adipose tissue we have adipocytes. So in that the extra glucose will be stored. In the hepatocytes also extra glucose will be stored. So which act on what? Which act on hepatocytes and adipocytes. Okay. Then next one, here we can say it is doing insulin, it is doing glucose homeostasis. Glucose homeostasis, which means which regulate the glucose level, which maintain the glucose level normally. Okay, so that's why it is called as glucose homeostasis. The insulin is glucose homeostasis, which act on the hepatocytes and adipocytes. The next one, what it has happened, which enhance, which one? The insulin enhance the cells to take glucose. Okay, to take and utilization. Okay, so in glucagon what it has happened, it is reduce the usage of utilization of cells. But here the insulin what it is doing, it is enhance the cell to take and utilization the glucose. Then only it can utilize more glucose. Okay, next what it has happened, the glucose stored in hepatocytes and adipocytes as a glycogen. It is stored as a glycogen. Okay, so what it has happened? What it has happened? If glycogen formed in the hepatocytes and adipocytes, what it has happened? Automatically the glucose level will be decreased in the blood. Because if it is high, which means the beta cells will stimulated and insulin will be secreted and which act on the hepatocytes and adipocytes. So that hepatocytes and adipocytes take extra glucose and store as a glycogen, and which simultaneously which enhance the cells to take the glucose. Okay, right. So now automatically our glucose level will be decreased. Okay, so see here the insulin and the glucagon which maintain the glucose homeostasis. Okay, it need to be stable. Okay, it should not be high, it should not be very low. It want to be normal. Okay, then only our body can do functions properly. Okay, sir, if it is level of glucose is high continuously, when it is high level, which means insulin which is not secreted properly, sometimes beta cells will be damaged, so insulin cannot secrete. So what happened? Hyperglycemia is happening. Hyperglycemia. So hyperglycemia, which means what? The level of glucose is increased. Hyperglycemia. Prolonged hyperglycemia continues, which cannot reduce. Our body cannot reduce the glucose level. What it is happening? Which means that phenomenon, that disease is called as diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus, which means loss of glucose goes through urine. So in urine, the loss of glucose will be lost. Okay, loss of glucose through the urine. So that is called as diabetes mellitus. So what is the remedy for the diabetes mellitus? Which means insulin therapy. Insulin therapy. Insulin therapy is only one solution for the diabetes mellitus. Okay, insulin therapy. So it is very important endocrine gland. Okay, sometimes prolonged hyperglycemia, that means our glucose level prolonged is high level, which means our eye will be damaged and our kidney also will be damaged. So many problems will be arised. Then finally our nervous system also will be arised. So that pancreas endocrine gland, which doing very important function in our body. I think you all understood that. Okay, so one is reduce the glucose level, one is increase the glucose level. So finally it will be neutral. So which means okay, good. Okay, the next one we are going to see testis, another one endocrine gland. Testis is one of the endocrine gland. It is present only in male, which is act as a primary sex organ. Primary sex organ as well as endocrine gland. Okay, it is primary sex organ. Which one? Testis. And endocrine also. Endocrine gland also. And which is responsible for secondary sexual character also. Secondary sexual character, you know it. For male, what? The shoulder become broader. And next, voice become deep. Then mustache and beard, which is coming. So these are all the character is secondary sexual character. So that is also regulated by the testis, because it is endocrine gland which secrete one hormone. That hormones doing wonder in our body. Okay, right. Here it is composed of seminiferous tubule. Seminiferous tubules. That seminiferous tubule, which consists stromal, stromal or interstitial tissue. That interstitial tissue which consists Leydig cells or interstitial cells. Okay. So here you see seminiferous tubules which is present in the testis. In the seminiferous tubules we have stromal or interstitial tissue. That tissue is made up of Leydig cells or interstitial cells. So that cell secretes what? Which means androgen. It is what? Androgen. The androgen is hormone that is mainly testosterone. So which secrete hormone androgen, that mainly it is called it as testosterone. Okay, so both of them same, testosterone or androgen. Okay, the testosterone function, it is regulate the development and maturation and function of one is epididymis and vas difference, then seminal vesicle, prostate gland and urethra. So that testosterone which regulate the development of maturation of function of epididymis, vas difference, seminal vesicle, prostate gland, urethra. Epididymis, you know, I think before that the testis where it is situated, because when we talk about the adrenal gland, when we talk about the parathyroid, thyroid, thymus and all, first we have seen the location. Here we have listed that. So testis below the outside of the abdomen. Okay. So one pair of testis is present. In the scrotal sac it is present. You know, it is testis, scrotal sac will be present. That is one pouch. So here seminiferous tubule are present. From that vas different arised. Okay, this is called as epididymis. Inside we have what? Seminiferous tubule. That seminiferous tubule consists stromal or interstitial tissue. They which consists Leydig cells and interstitial cells. That cell release what? Androgen. So mainly it is called as testosterone. That function is what? The development, maturation and function of epididymis. This is epididymis. For the development of epididymis, for the maturation of epididymis, for the function of epididymis, the testosterone is responsible. Next one, vas difference. It is what? So vas difference, you know, I think which carry the sperm, then it is called it as what? Sperm duct. It is called it as sperm duct. So the sperm duct development, maturation, formation also responsible. Who is responsible? Testosterone is responsible. The next one, seminal vesicle. Seminal vesicle and the prostate gland which is present in the below of urinary bladder, then which produce, here the seminal vesicle produce one liquid, then prostate gland also which produce what? One liquid. Both of them form what? Semen. Both of them what? Semen. Actually, sperm which is produced from the testis, it is stored in the epididymis and it is travel in the sperm duct. It need what? Nutrients and as well as alkaline medium also, because in the urethra is the common duct for urine as well as what? Sperm movement. So if through the urethra the urine is coming, so what medium is present? Acidic medium. So after that, after some times, what it is happen in the urethra? Urethra is what? One duct. It is common duct for the ejection of sperm and releasing of the urine. Always here acidic in nature because urine is coming. In the acidic in nature, the sperm will be dyed. So what it has happened? It want to be neutralized. So the seminal vesicle produce alkaline medium. The prostate gland which is giving the nutrients to the what? Sperm. So it is moving. So seminal vesicle, prostate gland development, maturation, formation also, function also it is done by testosterone. The next one, urethra, the common duct. So all the things is regulated by testosterone. So that's why it is very, very important hormone. And secondary sexual character also it is responsible. And next one, the testosterone stimulate the muscular growth and facial hair, then pubic hair. Pubic hair, that means you know, I think it is in the reproductive part, that is pubic hair. The next one, for aggressiveness. For our aggressiveness also it is responsible. The next one, for voice and spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis, that means the formation of sperm. That is also done by the testosterone. Okay. Then another one important for sexual behavior also, the testosterone responsible because it acts on the central nervous system, CNS, central nervous system, and which activate sexual behavior. The sexual behavior is libido. The sexual behavior name is what? Libido. So testosterone acts on the central nervous system and neural system, and it is influence the male sexual behavior. That is what? Libido. So it is the function of testosterone. Okay, right. So I think you all understood that. What about testis? Where it is located, and what are all the tissues are present, what are the cells are present, what it is secrete, Then the testosterone function, doing many functions, then which is responsible for many things that also we have seen. So in this video we have learned what the pancreas and another one is testis. In pancreas also what we have two types of part, exocrine and endocrine. Endocrine is the main part, that all the things we have seen. Then what hormones it is secreted, that all the things we have seen. So I hope you all understood that. So please go through the NCERT book. Okay. From this, one more question they will ask. Okay. For NEET exam and all, we have only the objective questions. Right. What tissue present? What cells are present? What hormones it is secreted? So like that questions will come. And next one, alpha cells, beta cells they will ask. Okay. So please read the NCERT book. Thank you.